Okay, so I had to explain this to my roommates. Does everyone know who Truman Capote is? I don't want to assume. Okay, all right, fantastic. Truman Capote's ghost was first a thin film wisping around Sharon Lucas's apartment and daily life. Small hints confirmed the ghost's identity. At Union Market after work, Sharon watched as the budget bagels and lox and pre-made chicken salad disappeared from her cart, and in their place, Petrosian caviar, non-GMO asparagus, and red wine. On her way home, she picked up a Saks Fifth catalog, despite the prices of the spring collection. Only $350 for this one in the sun, scalloped ham A-line. She could not turn the page away from a bright purple cloche hat. On sale from the winter collection, only $187. Her Gore Vidals mysteriously ended up in the dump outside. All 24 novels. The reappearance of an old playgirl, a gag gift from a friend on the coffee table, absolved her doubt. Capote's ghost was living in her apartment. The ghost was silent for the first week, and Sharon was able to work at home without disruption. He did not touch her furniture, but did put her menorah back in the closet and left a scrawling note. "It's February, darling." Sharon thought of calling her New Age cousin Rita, but decided she didn't want Rita telling her Aunt June, and Aunt June telling Sharon's mother her daughter Sharon had finally lost her mind. She decided to ignore the problem. The ghost was considerate at first. He moved pots of flowers and drank her liquor, but not her almond milk. It was Brooklyn. Sharon was used to her life being co-opted by inconvenience. When Capote's ghost started to interfere with her work, lilting to her about vacations to the Hamptons while she edited geometry textbooks, Sharon decided to speak up. She wrote a general outline of grievances ahead of time, then announced to the heir later that his presence needed to be addressed. "Listen," she started. For a moment, Sharon worried about her sanity being questioned by the landlady upstairs, but pressed on. "You need to be respectful of my space. I don't mind that you're here. You should be honored," came the high-pitched drawl. Sharon gawked, then collected herself. "He's strong." She took big gulps of air, the kind her childhood shrink had warned her about. "My apartment," Sharon wavered. "You're rearranging it. Don't you love it?" She did, but that was beside the point. "You've started writing in my moleskin journal." "Yes, and it's better than anything else in there, no offense." Sharon sucked her teeth. "I can't read with you moaning at me, let alone work." "Well, darling, I can't very well let the writers you call authors get away with all that passive voice." "But my boss will love your increased performance." But her work hadn't increased performance, it slipped. Her manager sent passive-aggressive emails. Sharon pictured Robert's mucusy voice. "Your work hasn't had the usual pep. I'm just hoping everything's okay, and that you won't hesitate to let us know how to help you get work out on time." Sharon's response was curt. "I have a lot going on right now. I'm sorry I've concerned you. I will work harder." When deliveries from Coach and Macy's began pouring in, and charges were made to her card, Sharon once more tried to address Capote. She sat the ghost down on her new couch, the one he'd express delivered from Pier 1 that afternoon. He was less sheer. She could see the outlines of angular cheekbones and thin fingers. "Mr. Capote, you need to stop using my money. Please." "Oh, sweetheart, I'll pay you back." "Sir, what money will you pay me back with exactly?" "Sir? Excuse me, I'm not ancient." You're dead." "I just don't understand why it's so much of a problem," Capote chirped, ignoring the statement regarding his post-mortal condition. "Sure, it's quite not a lot, but really it's nothing you can't pay for as an editor." He muttered, as if Sharon were not sitting right next to him, not nervously picking at the couch. A silver cloud slapped at her fingers. "Stop that. It was expensive." "Right!" These things are expensive. I can't pay for them as an editor. Editors in my day got paid. In your day, Mr. Capote, this is not your day. There's housing markets and debt ceilings, and Robert, my boss, really doesn't like me enough to give me a raise, and... Oh, don't bore me with your petty details. The ghost stared at his fingernails. I'll make it up to you. Rob a bank or some such nonsense. He flung himself onto the new couch. At the ghost's insistence not to notice her, Sharon stomped into her room and slammed the door. Oh my God, I'm having a diva off with Truman Capote's ghost. She heard knocking noises from the next room, furniture once more arranging, champagne bottle popping, and what sounded like laughter. More than one male's laughter. The next morning, Truman was gone, but the dining room table was spread with warm biscuits and colorful jellies made from fruits Sharon had no clue how to pronounce. There was a mimosa waiting on the counter with a little note next to it. Yes, aren't you lucky? Sharon knew better than to expect an apology from him, but this was close enough. She dumped the mimosa into a travel mug and started working. Sharon's inbox split at the sides with messages titled, Hot Priority! There was also an email from her manager, Robert, telling her she had better get some of her edits finished up today. It was after she'd come back to her computer from lunch that she noticed a pair of wide, black-rimmed glasses floating midair. A pair of squinted eyes sneered at her. Long, pointed fingers were almost punctuating the air. Beyond that, you can't smoke in my apartment, Sharon hissed, dropping Caesar salad to her desk, her jugular thrumming. What if my landlady smells the smoke? She's going to think it's me. Hush up, Cupcake. They'll think it's me. I'm becoming more visible by the day. At any rate, put it out. Oh, all right, fine. There was a sizzling as a cigarette was dropped into her cold coffee. Now, what have we here? Not now, Capote, Sharon hissed. Her cell phone rang on the table. Robert's number flashed on caller ID. Oh, hell. Hold on, she growled. And then, in a honey-sweet tone, Hello, Robert. Hi, yes, absolutely. Sharon's eyes widened at Capote as he lit what seemed to be another cigarette. Of course I got the email for the Langston account. Yes. What? Capote stared out the window. Sharon tried not to cry. Yes, I'll send it back your way, of course. No, I understand. Yes, thank you. She hung up. Well, that was needlessly emotional, Capote muttered. I got fired. So? I got fired! Do you even care? No, why do you? You hated that job. Yes, but... But what? He plucked the job from her hand like he didn't care about the Brown University education that had provided such employment. Any social life she'd had after graduate school was tied to work. There were no trips to the bar because Sharon stopped going out. Don't you care that this means I have nothing, no money, there's nothing on my credit card? For the first time since my mother's divorce when I was 10, I'm fielding calls from creditors. I don't much care about your family's history. I've tried to hide my cards. I've cut them up, but you still keep finding ways to spend my money. Oh, I've memorized your credit card numbers. Of course you have. We'll have to sell all this stuff or take it back. We'll? She stared at him. He stood in front of her, hip cocked. I'm going out, he announced. Out? Out where? Where the hell? Out. Later that night, Sharon made the mistake of checking her bank account before bed. Though she'd canceled all of her credit cards, the damage was done. Her student loan was one tequila shot away from being defaulted on. Capote's lack of presence made her realize her empty apartment. She needed a cat. She couldn't afford a cat. Capote entered the apartment with his own set of keys. Hey there, Peach, he greeted. Where have you been? I've been seeing friends, which is better than I can say about you. His eyes sparkled, and his voice, though still infamously high, had a tenor to it that was previously airy and light. Darling, look at you. Messy. We need to get you the hell out. Proman, I am broke. I am tired. I just want to reflect on the fact that my life post-college will be fabulous. I promise. Just come out with me tonight. I promise I will leave after. She had no more energy to argue. Okay, fine. Thank you so much.